Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Seatrade Cruise Talks Wins Around the World, Episode 2. I'm Yanis Bras, CEO of 5 Stars Consulting, a company that basically assists ports and destinations around the world with the cruise development and the cruise restart processes. Cruise restart is a reality around the world, and it's time to celebrate the stories of people, ports, and their destinations that have shown resilience, creativity, and kept a positive attitude in the past year. Today, here with us, and I'm really proud, we have a really strong team of friends, which we will host me on episode 2. So let me start introducing. We have from St. Martin's, Alexander Gomes, the CEO of St. Martin's Port, and congratulations, Alexander, for your new role. Well done.
Thank you very much, Yanis, for that note, and I'm happy to be here with this great team as we discuss the resilience.
Thank you, Alexander. From Valletta, from Malta, Stephen Huareb. Everybody knows Stephen in the industry. A great guy, COO of Global Ports Holding and CEO of Valletta Port. Thank you for being here with us today, Stephen.
Thanks for the invitation, and it's a pleasure being in the company of industry colleagues from around the world after we haven't met for a very long time.
Thank you, Stephen. Next is Simon Marashi from Hamburg Gate. Thank you so much, Simon, for being here. He is the Cruise Gate Hamburg Managing Director.
Thank you, Ioannis, and good afternoon, everybody. I'm very happy to be here and share our experience of the past months with you.
Thank you, Simon. And last but not least, my friend Craig from Qatar. Craig is the Global Sales Manager, Cruise on Qatar Tourism. Thank you, Craig, so much for being here today.
Yanis, thank you for the invite. Delighted to be here with a beautiful collection of ports around the world. So I look forward to sharing our experiences as we move forward out of this current situation. Thank you.
So we have a very good representation here from around the world: Valletta, St. Martin's, Hamburg, and Qatar. Ports from around the world. Let's discuss, guys, for our audience in Seatrade and Seatrade Talks, what's happening with around the world. Let me first start with you, Alexander, as we started, and ask you, how did you cope with the stop of operations last year? And what is the situation today?
So as you know, Yanis, like most ports in the world, Port St. Martin has had it very difficult during that period. Fortunately for the port, we also managed the cargo terminal, so there was some sort of activity. But very early in the pandemic, we started assisting various cruise lines and partners with the provisioning of vessels, crew exchange, etc. So that also brought a sort of economic movement in the destination. Now looking ahead, we actually started home porting vessels from June this year. We were actually one of the first destinations in this region to resume cruise. That was very successful. Currently, we have transit calls. We have multiple ship days currently. But as we all know, the capacity of the vessels are running at 30–40%. So even though we are having frequent calls, it's not that many passengers. But I do think the forecast for Q4 of this year looks great based on the preliminary itineraries released thus far.
Thank you, Alexander. That's interesting. I mean, it's good that you have started. Yes, we know that the cruise capacity at the moment is around the 50+% around the globe, but we are very optimistic that as we move on in the next months, not only more ships will come into service, but also this capacity will rise. Stephen, let's go to you and your beautiful Port Valletta. I mean, I know that you had some projects from last year that your beautiful promenade that you finished. So any special project that you developed, and how is the situation today?
Yanis, Valletta Cruiseport was one of the first to be involved in the restart of operations way back in August 2020, with MSC calling the port of Valletta on the first international call out of Italy. And MSC kept calling Valletta ever since on a weekly basis, practically. Currently, we are also hosting the first ever, and during this pandemic, it led to something new for us, which was the first ever flights directly from the US to Malta in order to host the home port of Viking Cruises. And that is being proving to be a successful operation. In fact, we have 2 cruise ships home porting in Valletta by Viking, and they're doing the Adriatic and the Greek islands. So they switch around. And we also had now Costa Firenze calling. So it's been a relatively quite a good summer this year. Of course, unlike last year, but this summer it was practically a good one. Like my colleague Alex was mentioning as well, we do operate a destination. So Valletta Cruiseport is not just about the cruise port, but we also operate the Valletta waterfront, which houses a lot of restaurants and retail activities. For most of the year, they were operating. We had a period of about 6 weeks where they were closed because of the pandemic, but that helped us in our revenue generation. But during the year, we didn't accept a lot of layups in terms of cruise calls, but there were a lot of other vessel movements in port which we could accommodate. Of course, during all this period, we had some projects of particular interest to the cruise industry per se, because the Maltese government committed to install the shore power connections for all the Grand Harbor. And I must say that the connectivity on our quays has been prepared during the low season, during these quiet period. So now all the cables in preparation for the shore-to-ship supply now have been laid on all our key facilities for the future. So the project should be ready by 2023. In the meantime, we have plans to extend Pinto 4 and 5, which are our second primary berth, so to speak, in order to make it wider, in order to be able to accommodate the large resort type vessels. That's a project that we have just issued the tender, and it should commence around November and December. And in the meantime, also during the pandemic, we finalized a new canopy structure for all our F&B outlets, to the tune of around 2.3 million euros, which we have finalized April last year. So we were quite busy during this, so to speak, slow period of the pandemic.
I'm sure that everybody was sitting in their home, in the office, working like mad with all these projects, and well done. This is amazing, and it shows how resilient and how strong this industry is to take, some time that it was quiet for business to develop all your, backhand work and prepare for the future. Well done, Stephen. Simone, let's go to you now. I know that you have a very strong cooperation with the local community and that you're working very close with them. So what I would like to know in our audience is how was the local communities affected with the stop of operations, and obviously how it affected them again when they opened, and if you had any to develop any special plan, because I know also that you were one of the first ports in Germany that you developed your emergency planning and started operations with a special system, testing cruises, etc.
Sure. Yes, indeed, we have a very strong maritime community in Hamburg, but you can imagine how the whole community was affected when back in March 2020, the first lockdown came. We have around 600 millions on added value, which remains in Hamburg from the cruise industry, and that's a very high number. And secondly, the lack of business brought several service providers to either close or reduce their staff, which is indeed affecting now the restart. Nevertheless, Hamburg decided to stay open and accept cruise ships even during the lockdown, and that was very right decision. It was a very difficult time for cruise ships. We had several ships here in the port for weeks. The crew could fly back home, and there was still some work for the local service providers. So we indeed supported that decision, and we engaged very soon with the local stakeholders in working on protocols for the restart. So at the end of June 2020, we had our first call of Hurtigruten, and at end of July, TUI started with regular calls out of Hamburg. And we managed to finish the year despite the crisis with 77 calls and almost 80,000 guests, which still it's a remarkable amount considering the situation. As Stephen was mentioning, the work they've done on the shore power system, we had a similar situation here in Hamburg. We managed to certify the Europa 2 for the usage of the shore power system, which we have operated in Altona since 2016. And the results of this certification will be used for the planning of our two new shore power services, one in Steinwerder and the other one at the new terminal in Hafen City. So by the end of 2025, we will have all terminals, all cruise terminals in Hamburg equipped with shore power. And that's something that has to be done. It's something that the community also requires to do. We took over a new cruise terminal last summer, middle in the lockdown. It's the Bakenhof Cruise Terminal. It's a temporary terminal, which we use now till the new Hafen City terminal will be ready. And another project that we had, we turned our parking lots into an open air concert and cinema location. It was during the lockdown a very good way to provide cultures and entertainment to the city of Hamburg. We had around 40,000 guests, which came to several events, and I think it was also a way to increase the acceptance of the cruise business towards the population. So we're very proud of this project. Yeah, these are pretty much the activity that we run last year.
You've been very active as well, and that's good. And I especially liked your initiative about the open cinema, as it connects the community with something different. And this shows that cruise is open business, and it can be used for good. And people need it to be able to, even outdoors, to enjoy themselves at the time. Thank you so much, my friend. Craig, let's come to beautiful Qatar. I think now slowly you come into the season very soon. So I've been hearing that you are working with a very important new project. Can you tell us a little bit more about this and what's the situation? I mean, is the season starting now for Qatar? What's happening?
Yeah, thanks, Giannis. Yeah, it's an exciting time here in Qatar. As you're probably all aware, we have the world's greatest event descending on us in the end of 2022, being the FIFA World Cup. So there's lots of developments going on in Doha and around Qatar, which will benefit the cruise.
I'm sure Stephen will come to the football matches. I'm sure.
That's why I'm smiling. I'm a huge fan, so think of me.
Good. So am I. You're all very welcome if you can get tickets. Yeah, there's a huge amount of development, and specifically for cruise, we are in the deep depths of developing the port area as part of the World Cup legacy and to greet the World Cup. We're in the process of building a double-story grand cruise terminal, which will welcome two mega ships that will take up to 14,000 passengers a day through the terminal. That's due to be inaugurated the middle of next year, so next summer, in time for the World Cup, where we'll have two floating hotels, acting as accommodation for the World Cup, and then we will receive the port back to us from a cruise point of view in the early part of 2023. So very excited. We're also developing the whole port area, so it's going to be a lot more aesthetically pleasing. It will enable guests to come off cruise ships and actually walk into the downtown area of Doha. For those more active guests, it's probably going to be about a 45-minute walk through some botanical gardens and then down into the downtown area. So really, really pretty, nice walk, which is kind of unique for the Gulf region, and into our kind of Souq Waqif area and the Mashred downtown area that's also been redeveloped. So it's going to be a fantastic opportunity for guests just to be able to walk around that area of Doha, as well as go out and do their shore excursions. Where we're at the moment, we are coming into the cruise season for the Gulf region. We're looking forward to welcoming the ships back after it'll be nearly 2 years of absence. We're planning to start the season with our first call on the 24th of October, just finalizing our cruise protocols and working with our cruise line partners to ensure that they can come and operate safely in Qatar, as well as the wider Gulf region, as we're part of a Gulf itinerary. So having discussions on a regional basis, which is important to make sure somehow we're aligned, so the cruise lines are coming. So it's really important time at the moment to be able to align with the cruise lines and with our partner ports around the region to make sure that they can bring their ships in for this season, and then looking forward obviously beyond, and we're excited to have them back in. It's a beautiful part that they play in part of our tourism and our wider strategy for the coming years.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Greg. Yes, I mean, this is a tremendous positive opportunity for the destination to develop its infrastructure and its style of operations and open to tourism because of the World Cup. This is something that I'm sure that we will take advantage of, and this will benefit the whole cruise community. We want new destinations to have new infrastructure. This is good for us. This is good for the new ships that are coming out. We know that so far about 100 new ships up to 2028 will be out. So the industry is resilient. They keep building, and this is great for all ports around the world. I think all of you have some nice videos for us to watch and comment. And I would like to start with the video from you, Alexander. So let's watch it and comment after. Thank you so much, Alexander, for this beautiful video. We saw movement, we saw smiles, we saw people walking again on the piers and shopping and having fun. And of course, you and your team in the pier. I think exciting times are back.
Yes, indeed, we are back, and that video was used to an extent for the C-Trade Awards, where we are one of the finalists. So I'm really excited to see how that goes. And at the same time, I'm happy that we have the opportunity to share that colorful video of some of the operations the last few weeks. It has been amazing after 15 months to see passengers going on excursions, going into the shops, sitting at the bars and the restaurants, having an amazing time on St. Martin. St. Martin is called a friendly island. And, in that regard, we've seen amazing reviews thus far. And what is also very interesting is that much of the tour operators are also looking at additional means and ways in enhancing the experience. Enhancing the experience while, of course, maintaining the safety protocols set in place and in discussion with the lines. But at the same time, looking at innovative new ways and creation of new experiences at the destination. So for us, that is extremely amazing. For me, coming in new as the CEO of the port and having worked as an advisor with the port prior for a few months, we've worked on a high-level strategy plan where we don't only take the operations, or let's say the experience in the port, into consideration, but we're also working very closely with the various ministries and government, various ministers, to assure that our vision is also aligned with the destination growth and experience vision, that we have a seamless transition. For example, when you come from the ship to shore, that sense of place, that sense of feel, and that would carry on through the destination, both Dutch and French, which is one of the unique things on the island. One border, but it's open, and we're Dutch and French.
I'm so happy to hear this, my friend. As to, my company is called Five Senses. It's exactly on how to enhance the experience for the passengers. So it's very important that people will feel safe. It's very important to engage local community to come up with new ideas and new products to for the next years. That even though we will go back to the new era of cruising, to the new normal, people might still want to have shorter groups or try different things than what they usually do. So it's very important for you to be ahead of time and do that in engaging with the local community. Thank you so much for that. Now let's go to Malta and Valletta, and let's watch your beautiful video, my friend Stephen. can tell you, Stephen, I've been to Valletta a few times and we worked together in the past, but the feeling, that feeling when you enter your port and seeing all the walls and the history and how magnificent it is, this is an experience unparalleled to any. So you have a magnificent destination and a magnificent port, but what we saw is basically that you took in charge from very early and you developed all the systems. And that's why you, as you said before, a lot of cruise lines have taken you into their itinerary and trusted you, and you have started operations. So you continue to be successful from the last year and continue now.
I think the beauty of Malta is that we, and of Valletta, is that we are resilient, we are very responsive to the cruise line requirements. As you mentioned, you enter the port, which is the scene behind me. It's a natural deep water harbor. It's surrounded by historical cities built by the Knights and before the Knights of Malta. It's a small island, 27 kilometers long, 15 kilometers wide, but we boast 7,000 years of recorded history. And I think the beauty of the destination is that everywhere is reachable within a 30-minute ride. So whether you're interested in going to the beach, or whether you're interested in seeing the Hypogeum, which dates 7,000 years before Christ, you can do it in a single day. You can do both in a single day if you want. That's the beauty of being small. So I think that is, and the main capital city, Valletta, is within walking city from the port. Of course, at the moment, we're not allowing as a country, not us, but the country is not allowing independent guests. But now that people are getting more vaccinated and the herd immunity is being reached in many, many more countries now, we are in discussions that in the coming months, we will open up also for independent guests to be able to tour the city freely, and in order to return to some form of normality again.
We all hope that, and I think as vaccination numbers go up, that will be the case, and hopefully as we move on to the next couple of months, I know that Valletta is a year-round destination. Hopefully you will be able to see that, and people will be once again able to enjoy not only the old city, but the whole Valletta. As I said, I've been there a couple of times. It was so nice, so exciting to walk, even in the afternoons, you know, after everybody is leaving the old city. Magnificent views. It's one of my favorite places. Thanks so much. Simon, let's see Hamburg's video.
Yes, let's go.
I think that now we all want to go to Hamburg, Simon. That was really nice. I can tell you that the night lights I've experienced in Hamburg are amazing. I have some really nice shots taken with my camera, but the whole city is beautiful. It's very nice, and I'm sure that people are looking forward to go back, spending a few days before or after cruising from Hamburg. And we saw it on your video.
Yes, Johannes, you're totally right. I mean, there are so many spots in Hamburg. I mean, we can start from the building just right behind me, which is the new Philharmonic of Hamburg, an amazing construction with one of the best sound in the world. But then you've seen also the city lake, the Alstra Lake, which is a beautiful lake where you can sail, you can jog around. And something that a lot of people don't know, Hamburg has more canals and bridges than Venice, which is quite peculiar. But I invite all of you to to walk through these beautiful bridges and then look at the canals. So it's and as you said, it has a very nice life and nightlife and vibrant nightlife, which is very uncomparable, I would say. Yeah, that's Amber, but it's even more. And we were supposed to have the Sea Trade right this week, so we like let's put it this way. We look forward in 2 years to welcome the cruise community back to Hamburg, and yeah, that's it.
I know that you don't have Sea Trade at the moment, but it will be back next year. And we are all looking forward to Sea Trade Global in Miami this month, where either in person or virtually we'll be there to see our old friends, make new ones, and be in the conference. Myself are part of the conference, so please register. There are beautiful and nice sessions that we'll be discussing the future of cruising. So yes, that's something that I'm personally looking forward to. Last but not least, Craig, I know that, as you said, you are doing a lot of stuff, and Qatar is one of the countries which definitely is on my to-do list very soon to visit the beautiful country. So let's watch a video and discuss it.
Arriving by sea to Doha, cruise passengers are greeted with stunning views of the city skyline as they berth in the city's expanding cruise port, where a warm welcome awaits. Doha Port links directly to the city, offering cruise guests an enormous choice when it comes to deciding how to spend their day in Qatar. For many, a city tour will be the obvious choice. Many variations are available. There are opportunities for tailored itineraries based on culture and heritage, including visits to selected museums and art installations across the city. Culinary tours will visit the souk and may include fine dining tasting menus. Or, of course, cruise visitors can indulge in one of their favourite pastimes, shopping. Some may want to spend time admiring the city skyline from the deck of a traditional dhow, or relaxing at one of the stunning beach resorts easily accessible from the port. Others may be more interested in exploring the possibilities the desert can offer. And for those who prefer water and wildlife to sand, there's the opportunity to witness the incredible bird life among the mangroves, just 45 minutes drive from the capital.
Greg, I recognized one of the flamingos. I think they passed by Crete to come down to Qatar. No, seriously, people love wildlife, and I know that sustainability is going to be something which everybody will be looking at in the following years, and to have choice of excursions in pure landmarks and nature is very important. And also, I will be very keen to try your culinary and your gastronomy, because I hear it's exquisite. So that will be my goal when I come. But wow, what a destination, what opportunity you have.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Yanis, you know, the beauty of Qatar is it's very small, and Doha as a city is very easily accessible from both the port. You know, it's just a 10-minute transfer at the moment from the terminal that you saw in the video into the downtown area, and everything within Doha is within 20 minutes. So you can go up to the Pearl, which is, you know, new development. You can go down south, you can go into the desert. It's a 45-minute ride to go, you know, dune bashing. You can go to the north of the country and be up in the the cultural northern villages, seeing some of the history of Qatar within an hour from the cruise terminal. So everything's very accessible. You've got, 2 museums you saw in the video, again in the downtown area, connecting with Souk Waqif, and you can go and experience, the amazing Qatari cuisine in the souk area. Go and see some museums. We've just opened a new theme park in the downtown area, an indoor theme park called Doha Quest. So kind of catering for that family market as well. Again, kind of walkable from the downtown, and there's more and more to come. And on the kind of wildlife side of things, Qatar museums are looking at developing new sustainable attractions up around the country as well. So we're hoping to be able to share some of those new features in the coming months and next year as we start developing more of the country and getting people out of Doha to see what Qatar really has to offer around the country itself. So yeah, really exciting times.
Thank you, Glenn. I mean, our viewers, both cruise passengers, should be really getting excited to visit one of your beautiful ports and destinations, and also the cruise lines that are now planning, the new itineraries or the future itineraries. You should definitely, in each region consider and getting people there, because each port is unique on its own way. I have a last question for everybody, and I will start with you, Simone, and the same question will be for everybody. Give me your top 3 best features of your destination. Go.
Well, I would say the Elf Philharmonic, which is the theater that we just saw in the video, the nightlife of Hamburg, definitely, and the riverside. It's also an amazing location where 2 of our terminal actually has based. So if cruise lines are coming, they get to stay right in the middle of the city, which is a beautiful spot, a beautiful location.
Excellent. Alexander, to you, what's your top 3 best features in your destination?
Well, St. Martin is the smallest country in the world with an open border running parallel of the island. It's 37 square miles, but the northern half is French and the southern half is Dutch, and there's 2 different governments and 2 different everything. So the flair and the flavor on the Dutch side and the French side is different. It gives the passengers and any tourists or visitors a unique experience. Other than that, I think we are located strategically in the Eastern Caribbean as well. That plays hand in hand very well for many itinerary scheduling purposes, and also from a cargo perspective, where we work as a hub for some of the other smaller Caribbean islands. And the third point, I think the island is pretty liberal comparing to some or most of the other Caribbean islands, and the sense of duty-free shopping. So duty-free shopping and entertainment is huge on island, where you have the casinos, but you also have great shopping locations. St. Martin is also considered to a great extent as the cuisine capital in the Caribbean, just because of it being a sort of a melting pot. So we call St. Martin a melting pot or a salad bowl, where you have like 126 different nationality of persons that live here. So we always say, no matter where you come from, you must find someone from your country in St. Martin. You must feel at home and comfortable and safe and friendly. So, those are the top 3 things I would say that distinguishes St. Martin to an extent in this part of the world.
Thank you, Alexander. Craig, you now next. 3 top best features of Qatar, of the destination.
Well, three is a very short amount to try and get to, Yanis, but as we're talking cruise, I think when completed, I think our terminal and port area is going to be the finest in the region for customers, passengers to come off their ships. I think the proximity to the downtown location of Doha from the port, and all of the attractions of the National Museum of Islamic Art, Souk Waqif, all in a very short walking distance, is going to be a phenomenal experience for cruise passengers to come off and for cruise lines to sell their shore excursions. And then the third one is the country and the people. It's a hospitality-driven background in Qatar. The Qataris are very friendly, welcoming people, and we want to see tourists come to Qatar. So I encourage any tourist to come in, get involved in the local culture, the cuisine, and the history of Qatar around the pearl diving and the settlements around the country. Get out and explore.
Thank you, Craig. And finally, Malta, Valletta, what's your top 3 best features, Stephen?
I alluded to them already previously. So it's the Grand Harbor is a natural deep water harbor, well sheltered. It is surrounded by the historical cities. So Malta is an open air museum with both 7,000 years of recorded history. So it's their history, it's our culture. We're European yet very Mediterranean. So I think it's an interesting country to explore for cruise passengers.
And let me, I might add a very nice port as well, infrastructure in the port, very, very well. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you, our viewers. Let me just say that anybody, any port or destination who wishes to be added in one of my next episodes of Winds Around the World, please contact me. Don't forget to connect on LinkedIn. Let's stay together. Let's grow the network. And hashtag we are back. Cruise is here, and I'll see you soon in SeaTrade, either in person or virtually. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you being here with us today.
Thank you.